We are here with Brian Mariotti, pretty much known as, I'm like, you're the guy who made vinyl toys happen. Like, you revolutionized the industry with everything that you've done, and now you're on a new venture. You went rogue a little bit on your own, and we're here with, everyone here is crazy for your stuff here at ThrillJoy.
Yeah, no, look, it's a startup. It's our first launch ever. We wanted New York Comic Con to be a great way of like showing our unique products in person versus just online. We thought it was absolutely essential that people get their hands on it and see the different unique characteristics of our lines, and so far the response has been phenomenal. The
con just started a couple hours ago. This is the first day. There's lines wrapped around this place.
Yeah.
Unheard of for a brand new pop-up.
That makes me feel good. I think make great products at a great price, engage the community, and hope they like it. And I think, we tried that at Funko. It worked really well. And obviously, different company, different philosophy. We're really leaning into limited editions, chase pieces, super rare chase pieces. We have 4 items here today that have a chase piece of only 24 pieces, which is essentially unheard of in our space. But just make quality stuff with quality licenses, and hopefully people, gravitate toward it.
One of 24 pieces. Yeah. Usually when you hear something exclusive, it's like one of 2,400 pieces, or one of 800 pieces. You'd never hear it in the double digits.
Yeah, I think that's something that, as a collector myself, that thrill of the chase, right? ThrillJoy, the thrill of the chase, the joy of collecting, right? Or joy of getting it. And seeing something that has an ultra limited, and all of our products have chase pieces, but 4 of them have super chase pieces. You land a super chase piece, like it's a lottery ticket, and I just love the idea that we already had a couple people post. This guy just got a super chase piece right there.
Look at that.
And that is exciting to see fans that freaked out about a super chase piece, and that's one of 24 right there. He's got it with the Mars Attacks. First one we've seen that's got one, because not everybody's exactly opening their products as they leave the booth, so this is pretty exciting.
What exactly makes that a super chase product? Is it that aware of it, the model, or is there something on the box that indicates that?
It's when you open that box up, it's blind. You see there's a seal. We don't use stickers, we use wax seals that say it's a 24-piece super chase. The character is unique, so we only made 24 of that Mars Attacks leader with that license, and there's an ambassador that we made a chase piece of, and then there's the Mars Attacks Martian Soldier, which is the main one. So yeah, he got one of the 24 pieces that were made of that
That's a great concept, the wax seal, like an old-timey letter or maker's mark, something like that.
Well, everybody's been doing stickers forever. We just wanted to elevate every part of the packaging. The packaging's magnetic closed. It goes in and out. The product comes in and out really easy without ever disturbing the product. If you ever decide to resell it, you can, because this is an investment for people sometimes as well. But the packaging was more inspired by what Christian Dior or Yves Saint Laurent's doing, that high-end fashion packaging meets collectibles, and we really spent a lot of time and effort on the packaging itself, and I think it shows with the product.
Have you ventured into, doing blind boxes, chase pieces, usually is some sort of statue, figure, vinyl pop, something like that. Have you been looking at, I see you have a lot of clothing that are displayed around here. Are you looking at maybe doing the blind box for clothing too? Yeah,
not blind box itself, but ultra limited runs. All of our apparel is like, it's elevated and sophisticated, and it's like, but a bit understated, right? Pop culture's been doing t-shirts that look the same forever. Big Marvel shirts, big DC comic shirts. We wanted to go really understated, tone on tones. We're using rubber, using sonic welding for the products. We have bucket hats and ball caps that match the shirts. We just wanted to take a different spin on what is apparel in pop culture, and we think we did a pretty good job of kind of representing that here today.
Yeah, I'm seeing, you said the bucket hats, I'm seeing over there, it's like a lime green, bright green, ooze green, if you will, Ninja Turtles hat. You got the baseball jerseys over here, and that one looks like it could be like NASCAR or rugby or something like that.
That's our jumpsuits for our employees. We're also selling those as well for our fans.
So what else can you tell us about the clothing line that you have?
Well, I think for us it's about also looking at licenses, whether it's like $6 Million Man or things that have been either in the past or Blue Eye Samurai, Warrior Nun, things that have not had a lot of products represented. We're always looking for licenses that have a devout fan base, but there's not a lot of products made. And that way we can lean into the figures, but we can also lean into apparel in a different way. We're doing Beavis and Butthead, bucket hats and t-shirts where there's like rolls of toilet paper for cornholio. Silly stuff like that, but done in it with like rubber appliques and tone-on-tone printing. So just a way to kind of represent your fandom. All of them are limited edition. All of them are boxed in amazing packaging, but just a different way of looking at pop culture fashion.
Brand new, first time you're doing this with the brand new company here. What are some of the products people should know about that you're putting out as far as the licensing?
Yeah, I think Pix is our big platform, and that's a $50 product that's a lot of storytelling. It's got different kinds of frames depending on what license style it is, whether it's anime, it's black bamboo. If it's a cartoon like Huckleberry Hound, it's got a whimsical frame. It's got, the dates of these shows aired. It's got specific artwork. It's got lenticular authenticity cards that are sandwiched between acrylic magnets. And the packaging's been really good, but it's also the license diversity. Things like Blue Eye Samurai and Warrior Nun, where very little product's been made, to classics like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and He-Man with our Skeletor line, Mars Attacks, which comes from the comic book world. Trying to do a diversity, we have Van Gogh. I mean, very few people are doing Van Gogh products. I'm a huge art fan. I know a lot of people here love art, and New York City really love art. And so we're going to be doing Van Gogh and Salvador Dali and Pablo Picasso and Claude Monet and whimsical characters from history like Marie Antoinette and Shakespeare. And so we're always going to mix up the licenses, whether it's sports, music, anime, TV, movies, or pop culture icons like Mozart.
You're really hitting on all the properties that are big or getting big currently there. One, it's a great time to be a part of Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Man, that stuff there. With the popularity of the Kevin Smith series on Netflix, Netflix also has like 2 other animated versions of He-Man. They just cast people for the movie or the live series that's coming out there. So great time to be a part of that. Going through the art with Van Gogh, that never goes out of style. Like you always, that's kind of like what remember back in the day, you would have the John Belushi from Animal House would be the poster on the wall at colleges, or the guy from Jim Morrison from The Doors. Now, like everywhere's got Van Gogh in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, I mean, look, this tells about the storytelling element. That frame is a museum frame. It's bright gold. It's got Starry Night, which is my favorite picture. It's 1889. It's got the date, and we love the idea of like freezing these pop culture moments immortalized, right? And I think that's what I love about the Pix line. LeBron James breaking the scoring record, somebody having an all-star appearance or a Super Bowl appearance or winning a trophy for the Super Bowl or a Major League Baseball championship for the World Series. But these products can represent a moment in time that are really important to people. And you're right, when I grew up, it was a Farrah Fawcett, poster or a, Dan Fouts Charger poster. I think our generation is growing up with Pops and different other great products from different great companies that represent their fandom more than like a traditional poster. I think it's like putting that stuff up on your wall, on your shelf, really tells you who and what you're about and who you like in pop culture. You mentioned about trying to cater to audiences of properties and franchises that don't seem to be fully represented, and one of them you mentioned was $6 Million Man, which is an older property. That's from the 70s. Do you find that is it harder, or is it more of an opportunity for you guys to do something like that when generationally, like millennial, Gen Z, going younger, they don't really look back past from when they were born like Gen X and the olders do? We all look back to the 80s, the 70s, the 90s, stuff like that. Do you find that to be a bit of a struggle going back that far with a popular property at one time, but doesn't get represented anymore?
I think what I like about ThrillJoy being not a publicly traded company and being private and privately held is that we can do things without needing a spreadsheet analysis on what the financial ramifications are of doing $6 Million Man. We know there's a fan base out there. We know it's an older fan base, but a rabid fan base. And then, maybe some of the older fans influence the younger fans, but I don't have to hit like certain numbers to make sense for the development of that. And I like the idea that we're going to chase things that will go with the younger demographic or an older demographic or somewhere in between, and not necessarily worry that I have to hit a certain amount of units to report to our investor base, right? And that gives you a lot of fun. And I think that's what's kind of reinvigorated me. My 6-month retirement after Funko was short. I was bored. I needed to do something. I needed to put the creative energy into something, and came up with ThrillJoy and brought some really great people on that are going to be great partners. And then the thing that's really interesting about us, and we're going to talk about it tonight at our at our Comic-Con panel, is the fact that fans are going to own part of our company too. We're giving away stock to certain key fans, key influencers in certain areas that we really want to go into, and bringing our fans in and having them have a voice, voting on licenses, voting on price points, voting on directions of the company. I don't know another company that's done that before from the inception, and we are. And we're really excited about it. Our fans know a lot about pop culture, and they do influence what we do, and they did influence what we did at Funko, and we're just taking it to another level with our fan advisory board and giving stock to some of our key fans.
It's great that you're willing to take those chances since you don't really have any constrictions on you.
Yep.
So you could go back even to the 80s right now and pull up some like MTV forgotten staples, like the Young Ones or Remote Control, Totally Polly, things like that. Club MTV.
We're doing Eon Flux, and there's very little MTV classic Eon Flux products, right? We're doing obviously another round of Beavis and Butthead. We're excited about another round of Daria. Eon Flux is one you don't see a lot of products for. There was a movie that came out much later, but didn't resonate with a lot of people, but the MTV show did. And you're right. You want to talk about random MTV. How about like Stevie Washington, the Angry Youth? They had those little shorts that were in between. I want to do crazy stuff like that. I want to dig through the archives and say, what can we bring out that nobody else has done? And that's a great example.
I'll give you one idea, because everyone thinks like Nickelodeon only goes back to like the age of Rugrats and SpongeBob. Yeah. Go even further, where they had like Pinwheel. You can't do that on television. All the 80s Nickelodeon that everybody either doesn't acknowledge or forgot about, like that. Like that would be a gold mine.
And that's why we have great partners. You see obviously a lot of our relationships with Nickelodeon and Paramount and here at the booth and with the Turtles and such, but digging through the archives and finding things that people are going, oh my God, they made that. That really fuels you, and I think that's something that's going to differentiate us. There are so many great licenses out there. There's a lot of licenses that people do a lot with over and over and over again. We want to be a little bit different. We want to think outside the box. We want to find licenses that haven't been represented in fan bases that are dying for product, and I think we got to get off to a good start with this.
Well, I got to say, you really are doing it. The line is still going. We've only a couple hours into the actual con starting, and it's still wrapped around what we call the block.
Yes.
Around all the other venues, the other vendors here, so that's got to make you feel good that it's interrupting their traffic.
It's off to a great start, and you get nervous, right? You don't know if anybody's going to want
show
this
up?
stuff. Yeah. And you don't know. You just hope you make great products and pick great licenses, and you execute, and then you got to kind of leave it up to them. And I remember when I came up with Pop in 2010, our fan base at Funko did not like it. It was all new fans that did, and it was scary at the first.
Because you were bobbleheads before that.
Yeah, we were all bobbleheads. And I remember showing it to my fan base early on, and they were like, where's the bobbleheads? And I'm like, my heart sunk, and I'm like, all right. And then all of a sudden, as that show was going on at San Diego Comic-Con in 2010, people were coming to our booth that never came in and bought stuff. A lot of women were buying stuff saying, hey, where's that cute Batman, that cute Joker? And I knew we had something different and unique, and it was a lot harder to launch something then. I think we have some great people that that have helped me along the years at Funko and Loungefly that are in this new company, and I think we had a great idea of what the fan bases wanted to do, something unique and different, and I think we executed it. So
one of the great things that kind of builds loyalty to a brand, to a company, is the accidental finds in a store.
Yep.
Your old company, I think it was in like Barnes & Noble or something, and I walked in, I hadn't seen the Pop before, and I go, they have the Simpsons here.
Yeah.
No one's got the Simpsons. I bought all the Simpsons, and then from there I was hooked, and to find something like this, to find Blue in the store, the bucket hats, things like that, you walk in there and go, I haven't seen this before. This is great. What's the company? All right, I'm going to go look them up, see what else they got, and then it's just those accidental finds.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, right? And we always said that, like you back in the day at Funko, it's like you just needed one person to buy one, and then their eyes kind of opened up. It's like when you have a brand new car, and you think you're the only person on the road with that car, then you look around and you start realizing all these people have the same car as you. I think that's what happens when you buy products. If you can see them in person, you can get excited about it. And hey, maybe we got people coming in that haven't bought one of these products for 6 months, but they get one and they realize, oh man, what did they do in the past 6 months? And they go back and they find out that we did do $6 Million Man or something like that. And I think that's what's always exciting about the chase. It's like, what is this world going to open? And we want to delight and surprise people with our product choices and our licensing choices. And I think that is going to be kind of the ethos of the company. Limited, rare, chase pieces, but also diversity of product types, product price points, and product stylization. I think we're going to do really well with that.
Do you have partnerships with stores? Like, can people go into a Target or something like that and find this?
So we're going to do a majority of our products are going to be sold directly on ThrillJoy.com. We have a partnership with Hot Topic and Box Lunch we're very excited about.
Perfect.
And then we're also going to be working with Bait and Undefeated because Eric Peng is one of our owners as well. And so Eric brings a wonderful mentality of that sneaker culture and that partnerships with Adidas and Under Armour and Nike, and having him be part of our ownership group is really key. Between him and MD Young at MindStyle, these are guys that have been around and they know collectibles and sneaker culture better than anybody, and to lean on them and find a way to steer our company in unique, interesting, avenues is something I'm really excited about, and having those two kind of partners from different backgrounds is really going to help us be better operators. So,
Brian Mariotti, CEO of ThrillJoy here. Thank you so much for your time, for coming out and talking to us. You're a busy man. You've got it shows. There's a lot of people here that are looking to just. It's like the old Futurama meme. Take my money. They're
right.
all just reaching out into their pockets and throwing it at you to get all this great stuff here. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.